3, and we'll be launching with a partner next month. Or we're Feint 3?
We're Feint 3.
Yeah,
okay.
Feint.
And so, will there be like a sign-up process for the credit card payments back and forth? Like how
That's all uses in-app purchase.
What's that?
This is all built on top of Apple's in-app purchase stuff.
In-app purchase.
Yeah,
okay.
so the way that it'll work is we'll support what we call soft currency, which is money that you give players for engaging in your game. And then separately there's hard currency, which we don't have because Apple doesn't allow it. And instead you use in-app purchase to actually monetize goods. So you may sell like a pack of virtual goods for $1, or allow them to buy maybe less cool goods. So we have the regular goods that they can spend their coins on, and then if they want to get the flaming magic sword of doom, that's $1, or something like that. And that's what's really cool with the particle effects and all the shenanigans.
Is there any way to give players money?
Give players money?
Like reverse in-app purchase possibility?
You mean as like rewarding or as a return?
Well,
I think you may be able to allow them to return.
What's that?
I said I think you may be able to allow your players to return something if they purchase it within app.
No, I mean like let's say that someone's the leader for that week, and they get $20 in the iTunes store. They win.
You could send them a gift card.
What's that?
You could send them a gift card.
Yeah.
But no, there's no way to automate that. But with a system like this, if you wanted to give someone a premium good as a reward, you could just give it to them. Like you can flip a bit and they get the sword.
Are you guys? Oh, go ahead. Well, I was wondering, like, you're jumping over to Facebook now, and Facebook has their own currency coming out. Like, are you afraid they're going to pull an Apple move and just stagnate the
Well,
whole?
we're on Apple's platform though, so it's.
Yeah.
I mean, in short, no. It took Facebook like 7 years to figure out that currency is important.
Right.
And they're still trying to figure it out on their own platform. When I talked about focus and us trying to capitalize on our opportunity. For Facebook, they have 400 million people, right? They have a $5 billion business being built inside of them, and they just want like a piece of that, So they're like laser focused on taking 30% of Zynga's revenue right now. They're not concerned about taking 30% of the App Store's revenue. In the future, they might, I suppose, but it's hard to say what will happen in the future.
They just want to focus on integrating with other apps, mobile apps, right? The Facebook Connect is very unique.
Yeah, I mean the Facebook Connect. So far, their iPhone stuff was built by one guy, and he publicly denounced Apple's platform. So, for whatever that's worth, there's no Facebook app on iPad. Facebook Connect hasn't been updated. It probably doesn't even work with OS 4.0. So, I wouldn't worry about Facebook at this point.
Yeah.
So in the store, when you pay $1, does it translate into a virtual currency that's good across all games?
No. Apple's developer agreement does not allow you to directly buy virtual currency.
I thought maybe you were special in some way.
No, we're not special. Signed the same NDA as you.
Because we wanted to do something like that, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, we may do virtual currency across games, but a soft currency, the one that doesn't have any real money associated with it. But as soon as you accept money, you cannot give currency. Or at least as soon as you accept in-app purchase. I believe you can sell like an application that gives them 50 points, which is what a lot of companies did before in-app purchase came out.
Yeah.
But Apple is strange.
That's another game.
Yeah.
Is there a way to integrate advertising? So let's say you've got these, like you said, these things that people don't really want that much, but then the flaming sword is going to be about it, right?
Okay.
Is there a way to integrate advertising with that where you would basically say, if you watch this ad, this video ad, and you comment on it, and you fill out this little short survey, you get this flaming sword for free.
So that's the offer that OfferPal does, right? OfferPal on Facebook. So on Facebook, there's a huge economy. So the way that Facebook games work is people either buy their currency directly, or they earn their currency by completing an offer, which is like what you said. They'll go sign up for Netflix, sign up with their credit card, and then they get 50 million pony points because they, are going to get 20 videos. So OfferPal, there are a number of companies that do this, and some companies do this on the iPhone as well. And yes, we could do that.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, it's not something that I want to go to, but there's a whole big shenanigans about Scamville. I'm sure many of you guys heard about the whole TechCrunch thing.
Yeah, what I'm thinking more in terms of is like, let's say, General Motors, a new card that they have coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They go and they say, you know, we know that this game really demographics perfectly to 18 to 25-year-olds. That's what we're targeting.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we'd like to do is we'd like you to include a video commercial in your app.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever people go to buy this flaming sword, you give them the option. You can either buy this for $1 or you can watch this commercial and fill out the
That's
service.
totally legitimate.
That's what I'm saying. But I think
Not kind
that
of
could be
stuff
an
that's going on
effective.
these days.
Yeah, that's not
In
balanced.
that at all, in an app, that kind of interaction, because then it's not, like you said, it's not an offer. You have to go. You're just basically interacting with the brand. The brand is paying you or giving you some sort of.
Arguably, it's a style of offer. The difference is that that's the kind of thing that a large company that is focused on brand awareness would do, whereas a smaller company, maybe like National Geographic magazine, they wouldn't necessarily care that you just saw a National Geographic photo. They want the subscriptions.
Yeah.
So there's a realm of offers that you can do, ranging from the scammy stuff that David is like, don't do, all the way to the nice things like, oh, let's watch a Volkswagen commercial.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, this stuff it's an affiliate-based business, and it's something that we've thought about, but ultimately we don't think that the big opportunity is in ads. Because that's just not what our background is. Apple clearly is very interested in doing that. We think the opportunity is more in revenue share around direct customer purchase of virtual goods.
And how do you get money when customers buy something through the in-app purchase methodology?
So we know when they're buying things, so we bill you.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty simple, right?
I'm sorry, it's late.
Yeah. No, it's fine. We were just talking about all sorts of things. But the new thing we're doing, OpenPay Next, we announced, is the microtransactions and virtual goods platform for games and support free-to-play games. And we basically do revenue share with any goods that players buy that use in-app purchase.
Why do you feel that's the next big thing? Why would that be hard for developers to integrate on its own?
Because it requires lots of server programming. The fundamental value proposition of OpenFeint is add leaderboards and achievements to your game without doing any server work. And the reason why I think that resonated with so many developers, and I know with myself, was because most people who make iPhone games don't come from the web. They come from console or desktop. So this idea of how do I build a scalable web service that I then use to display a list is like, it's like you're speaking Greek. So we think that free-to-play games are coming to the iPhone. We're going to help accelerate that process. I have this whole long spiel about why I think the iPhone is 2 years behind Facebook and all stuff, but I won't get into it. But the key is that you need to run servers to do this stuff. The way that you make money with a free-to-play game is you analyze what your players are doing, you tune the game in real time over the air to optimize their behavior, to make sure that, too many people are beating the third boss, so let's make it 0.3% harder, and our revenue just doubled. That kind of stuff. This price of this good is too high, let's change it. Let's add new content without shipping an update.
Are you going to have analytics on the back end?
Yeah, but we're not going to be doing any processing. You get to do your own processing.
Right, but look at the user,
or to the developer.
To the developer.
Yeah, so you'll be able to.
I think of myself as a user of your thing. So
you'll be able to basically instrument your game with data that you want to measure and then tune over the air and then see pretty graphs and change the data and do A/B testing and see how it affects conversion, how far people get in the game, how much money you're making, which goods sell, which goods don't, all that kind of
We're
stuff.
doing a Facebook game. We've been working on it for 6 months, like a $500,000 project. So in the Facebook game, that's pretty big. And we spent months on the microtrans part of it to get the right partner over there. So you're on the right track. There's a real opportunity there if you do it right. And there's a lot of people doing it on the Facebook side, most of them doing it wrong or incompetently. So the biggest problem we ran into wasn't the ideas, it was that they didn't know how to write code.
What's the problem?
Handling
good.
Handling transactions in a way that, like, if you say charge this credit card, it charges that credit card.
What a concept.
We had random numbers into one guy we were testing, and it charged. And we're like, well, that can't be right. And it's like, there's a reason, that reason, the other reason. I don't care what the reason is. It just cannot have any holes in it. You're working with money.
Yeah, it's got to work.
Tell me you're PCI compliant when I can fuck up your system in 1 second.
What if John Connor comes
I know,
along?
right?
And that was all of them, by the way. The one that we ultimately